Regular show had an incredible selection of characters throughout its original broadcast period. Many appeared in just one episode, possibly to return later. Additionally, there were the park employees who were the main stars of the entire series, but even they didn't appear in every episode. However, there was one character who broke the norms of the series and brought something new: Thomas. At first, Thomas was introduced in Exit 9B as a mostly calm guy looking for an internship. He seemed like a character who would hang around for a short time and then leave. However, that wasn't quite the case as he became part of the team. It felt strange to see a new face around the guys we've been following since the first season, but it made sense for the show's development as the seasons progressed. Thomas wouldn't appear in every episode, but he still played some significant roles throughout the middle seasons of the show. However, this wasn't quite enough for Thomas, because as you know, Thomas was an ordinary character. Other than being the park intern, he didn't have much going for him. He was really calm, but at the same time, he felt like just a guy standing there. For example, characters like Muscle Man or Skips always brought something entirely new to the show's formula and added their unique personalities to the team. But Thomas was just an intern. Throughout these seasons of regular show, fans started going online to talk about this new character, which indeed caused a change in the character. When creator J.G. Quintel and the rest of the team saw the fan discussions online, they thought of something interesting. They began discussing among themselves, and the real question was, why is Thomas in this show? They thought about it for a while and then came to this conclusion. Well, Thomas isn't special, but why not give him a special episode? This is where we saw 2 episodes in the explosive 6th season, Real Thomas and Men's Night 2. From the very beginning of the Real Thomas episode, it was clear that something was different from before. Normally, Thomas should have been his usual relaxed self and nothing should have changed. However, we see him speaking Russian and fighting secret agents. Rigby learns this and tries to convince his friends about Thomas's real identity, but of course no one believes him. The first half of this 22-minute special episode is dedicated to the mystery of who is telling the truth. Was Rigby dreaming, or was the seemingly ordinary intern at the park hiding something secret? As the minutes go by, at a certain point in the episode, everything continues with the revelation that Thomas is actually someone completely different. Nikolai Thomas, in a way, had erased the identity he had in previous episodes of the series. He completely disappeared, and instead we encountered a Russian spy named Nikolai. He said that after being abandoned by his family, he was adopted by government officials and was considered the property of Russia. He was trained by the KGB to become an elite agent and was eventually sent to America under the park operation. His mission was to infiltrate American parks under the guise of an intern because no one really paid attention to who the intern was. Thus, the Real Thomas episode turned into a full-scale war between America and Russia, and Nikolai had to face everyone he once called friends. The whole episode was really strange, but looking back, it also makes a lot of sense. And as I mentioned earlier, the regular show team didn't even initially think of the Nikolai idea. They turned the character into this based on fan reactions. Because after reviewing previous stories, they realized that the pieces actually fit together. Thomas would always stand on the sidelines, never do anything, and wouldn't have a big impact on the episodes. He wasn't even always around. This gave him plenty of time to deal with his Russian espionage activities. Another reason why this episode is so special is that it gave Thomas a reason to exist in the regular show. Initially just an intern, he was now an epic Russian spy fighting for what he believed was right. Fortunately, towards the end of the Real Thomas episode, he returns to Mordecai and Rigby's side. However, he had shown that he was different now and couldn't continue working as a regular intern in the park. So he had to leave. Due to the story of this episode, he had betrayed both America and Russia, so he really had nowhere to go and went into hiding. His last important role was in the episode Guy's Night 2 inches a season later. The team wanted to give him an epic night before he went into hiding. This episode reveals 2 big things. First, despite everything that has happened over the years, Nikolai still sees everyone as friends. He might have come close to death and his life might have been spent running away, but he still remembers the park crew and values them more than they realize. He would do anything to protect them, even if it meant he had to run forever. The second thing Guy's Night 2 inches taught us was that Nikolai was actually a cool character. Even cooler than he appeared. Regular Show managed to transform such a boring character into someone like this, and honestly, it was one of the best cartoon transformations ever. It's a shame we didn't see much of him after Guys Night, but he's living his dangerous life off-screen, and it wouldn't be safe for him to show up. The idea of turning Thomas into a Russian spy might seem silly, but considering this is Regular Show, it makes sense. So what are your thoughts on all of this? Did you like this big change with the park's beloved intern? Let's discuss in the comments. Also, if you've watched this far, thank you all. See you soon. Bye-bye.